Sex Series number 1. It ain't over until it's over. This is one video series where my own experiences will not be used to support ideas or methods for creating a more positive age-er lifestyle. No hacks or humor on this topic either. Sex is a very private matter for me, as it is for you, and I'll avoid personal disclosures and opinions. My wife also insists on this need for privacy. One motive for exploring sexuality is that I want the Ager Plus Learns Decade Challenge to provide a very expansive program of lifestyle development and enhancement. Even though it doesn't have a specialized home in my acronym, sexuality certainly has a vital role in a positive age-er lifestyle and interacts with all the other aspects of successful aging. Sexual interests and needs do not magically disappear when we hit 65 or 85 for that matter. But yes, even healthy bodies change as we age, and our behavior and emotions need to adjust as well. Successful aging does not require that we close the door on our sexual interests just because the hinges get a little squeaky. Yogi Berra's baseball comment when they were losing the 1973 national pennant race is very appropriate with aging sexuality. Oh, by the way, they ended up winning. Since this is not my area of professional expertise, I'll be learning along with you as we explore reliable resources for knowledge about sexuality and aging. It'll be my job to roam through the internet to save you time and help you find the answers you may need for your questions about sexuality and aging as applied to your own life. I'll make certain that any information shared is backed by science and is presented in a professional and objective manner. If you are only interested in the type of sensationalism provided in the popular press, you may find these discussions rather boring and unappealing. That's why I'm telling you now, so you won't be disappointed later. Here are some questions I have that I would like to answer in this series. What happens to our sexual performance as we age? Is it different for males and females? What are the effects of diet and health on sexual interest and activity? What happens in the brain and nervous system that affects sexuality and aging? Are there ways to prolong our sexual satisfaction as we continue to age? When is it time to realize biology has caught up with us and accept the end of our sexual lives? Where do we go for professional advice about our own sexuality and challenges we may face? Because sexuality and aging is such a broad topic, I'll limit the range of issues presented in each video of the series. They'll be numbered as in number 1, 2, 3, so you can follow the release and keep track of your watching. In these videos, I'll be using biological, physiological, psychological, and medical terminology to discuss sexuality. This will include references to sexual organs and characteristics, sexual performance, contact diseases, sexual dysfunction, and sexual pleasure. If you find this open and frank use of terminology very uncomfortable, this video may not be for you. If you're only somewhat uncomfortable, I recommend that you stick with the videos, and perhaps your reaction will become less intense and even disappear with time. Unfortunately, many of us, myself included, were not raised in an environment where sexual matters were openly discussed, and shame, guilt, and embarrassment were too often associated with sexual behavior. It's time to put those thoughts and emotions in the past. Cancel them out when they occur and learn to discuss sexuality as we would any other human physical and psychological situation or condition. Let's get started. In this first video of the series, I'm going to cover current patterns of sexual expression and problems that occur in older adults, starting in the 60s and on up. Until recently, there's been very little research with our age group. It's starting to emerge. Sexual interest with agers. Are agers, which is my preferred term for seniors, still interested in sex? One study found that 1/3 of the 60 to 82-year-olds reported more sexual activity and thoughts than the average younger adult in the 22 to 36-year range. According to a University of Michigan and AARP poll, nearly 2/3 of the 65 to 80-year-old adults said they're interested in sex. Women showed less interest than men. Why do you think that's the case? Of the men surveyed, 51% said they were currently sexually active, while only 31% of women reported sexual activity. Women reported more satisfaction with their sex lives compared to men, at 43% to 31%. Apparently more sex doesn't mean better sex. As we continue our study, maybe we'll uncover the reason for this discrepancy between satisfaction for men and women. Any ideas? More important than what studies show about others is how you feel about sex at your current age and stage of life. Are you noticing changes? If so, what are they? What types of feelings do these changes generate? It's important to recognize that sexual activity does not require a partner. If you don't have a relationship, this doesn't mean you need to ignore your sexual feelings or give up on satisfaction. More about that in later episodes of this series. Let's look at some problems in sexual functioning. Body changes. Aging brings adjustments to weight, skin, and muscle tone. We may feel less confident that others will find us attractive and avoid exposing our bodies. Menopausal reactions can also influence sexual desire and intimacy potential. Sometimes desire is increased during hormonal therapy, so not all changes should be considered barriers to satisfying sex. Health conditions. With age comes physical ailments, often associated with lifestyle habits built up over many years, diabetes, heart disease, and many other conditions. Sex requires physical and emotional energy, which may be in short supply. Incontinence, for example, requires adjustments in sexual activity. Arthritis and pain can definitely reduce desire for sex. Sex organs. The vagina sometimes shortens and narrows with age. The vagina walls can become thinner and stiffer, and lubrication may be reduced or require extra time for lubrication to occur. It may cause vaginal penetration to be uncomfortable or even painful, certainly less desirable. For men, erectile dysfunction or impotence becomes more common with age. There's also Peyronie's disease, which involves scar tissue forming under the skin of the penis, causing it to bend, which can make intercourse difficult and sometimes painful. This is a brief outline of some of the problems agers may face in finding sexual satisfaction. In future videos, we'll focus on solutions to these and other problems. There are excellent resources available on the internet for assistance. Please do some searching if help is needed right now. I'll add some links below. Also, never hesitate to discuss any sexuality issues with your primary care physician. Please leave comments if you have suggestions for topics to cover or a reaction to issues raised in this video. Others will read and appreciate your input, and so will I. Have a great Ager Day.